Hi everyone, it's Jean from Sew It Themes. This is going to be part one of a 5-part tutorial type series that I pre-recorded to show how I put together and assembled my daughter's hybrid junk journal for her, well, for our grandson that's going to be born soon. And it's sort of like a baby album type of a thing. It has, I've edited the best I can edit. It is not professional, but I do believe that the instructions are quite clear. There have been changes to some of the measurements as I was going along, as this was sort of a pattern that I had put together myself. So I have written up here on the screen any changes to some of the measurements that I had to make. I put a few notes in written down so that you can make note of them yourself. This is a rather conversational, relaxed style tutorial. It is not professional by any means, um, and it's in 5 parts. But the fifth part will be the flip through of the journal, and also any last minute additions that I made to it. But the basic journal itself will be in 4 parts. They're short. I didn't want them to be too long, so they are, roughly 15-minute long. Each part is. So, without any more chit chat on my part, let's get started with part one. And I'm going to make a baby book for my daughter. She wasn't really didn't warm up to the idea of it being a complete junk journal. She's never used one. I think she just didn't feel like she could do it right, quote unquote, whatever that is. So I decided to do part of the journal will be like a mini album where you can just put photos on top of photo mats. And then there's going to be sections in there where you can do actual journaling, writing, or just you can use that for photos too. So I thought I would get started with that and show you how I'm going to put that together. To get started, the first thing you're going to need is or at least that I'm starting with anyways, is cardstock, not cardstock, excuse me, chipboard. I usually make all my mini albums and journals with chipboard. I like it, and I know that people have used cereal boxes and stuff like that, and which is fine. I mean, it's fine. This to me is just simple, easy to work with, and I can really depend upon it. So the chipboard pieces you'll need is one that's 5 3/4 by 8 inches. You'll need two, one for the front and one for the back cover. I decided on this size, even though the link down below to my sister's scrappers has a different size. I just changed it up just a little bit bigger for my purposes. And then you'll need a spine piece, which would be like 8 by 2.5 inches. Now the width of the spine piece is going to really depend upon how many pages of album and how much journal signatures you want to put in there. So for this, it's going to be 4 album flips and then 2 signatures sewed in for the junk journal. So that's the size of that. And then, and I love these little clips. These are, quilters use these to, instead of pins many times, to hold things together. Well, I just really love them because they're so easy to use. Instead of the other clips, the bull, those black ones, they're just harder for me to use, and these are so much easier. I have some finger dexterity problems sometimes, so these are just so easy. Anyhow, so we have this all done. Then you're going to need a piece of cardstock, and if you haven't made mini albums before, you may not realize that you have your decorative paper, but there's a lot of stuff you're going to be using as mounts that's just plain cardstock. And the hinge, so this is what we're going to be making. Sort of a prototype here that I've made up. we need to make a hinge for the inside of the journal. And I use craft paper here, but I'm going to use cardstock. So what will show in the journal will be this part in here, these, and maybe just a little bit here. So most of this will be covered up with decorative paper, but just this part in here, you know, you're going to see the color. And you know, either get a black or a cream or white or whatever color will suit you. And you'll need 1/8 by 11 inches for that. Then you will need a scoreboard. So to make this hinge here, you will need to score your piece the following way. Start out about 2 inches. Make your first, make sure I'm on camera here, yes. Make your first score there. Then you're going to follow the pattern of 2 1/2 inches. And then a 5/8. Now, instead of doing math, I just am going to move this 5/8 over to this 4. Because then I'm going to do, I hope I'm not confusing you. I might be confusing you. So let's just do it the old-fashioned way. 5/8, and then you're going to do a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another half. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another half. And another 5/8. And let me count my mountains. 1, 2, 1 more. Okay, one more of that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you will have plenty left over here on this side. Now to make this hinge, and I don't hopefully you can see, let me get a pointer here. If you'll notice, so you've got your half, these two here, and then you got the 5/8. This is going to be your valley. The wider score is going to be the valleys. And the mountains are going to be the middle of these 3 scores that are closer together. So it'll be a mountain here, a mountain here, a mountain here, and a mountain here. Oh, excuse me, here. Okay, and so the first thing that I do then is I'm going to fold the mountains up towards me, like so. I'm going to fold the mountains up towards me so that I can get an idea where the mountains are going to go. Now you can glue this and it will take a little time, so I'm not going to glue mine necessarily. I'm going to use score tape, but you do not have to use score tape. So we're going to put glue or score tape along one of the sides of the mountains there. So on the underside where you see that it's peeking here, and under here you can see where it's the mountains right here. They're just putting glue or score tape along the one side there. And try to get close. You know, I don't necessarily need the peak done, but I need to get it done at the very end of those 3. Oh, I can hardly see. those three, and I just put 2 in one strip. I didn't have to do that. It's okay. It's okay because it'll be extra glued. So I didn't have to do that one there. But I just put at least one strip down all those sides. I'll tear these off. Excuse me, cut these off. Oops, I cut my cardstock there, didn't I? There we go. Alrighty. Get those cut out there. And then we'll just take the glue off, or excuse me, the paper off there. And make our mountain. And so what I like to do then is I like to fold this both ways. See, I cut into my cardstock. Oh dear, naughty girl. Then pinch this mountain up together. And then once I do that, I'm going to fold it to make my hinge. Take this off here. And make my hinge again and make one last hinge. Okay, so there are our 4 album hinges, and there's going to be 3 places to sew in signatures. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you know, you can cut this off, you can leave it there, it doesn't matter. It's just as long as there's something over here to go on to the cover as it flips back and forth. Alrighty, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to come back with part 2. And thanks so much for watching. And if you want to see how I progress with this, please subscribe down below. And thank you so much for viewing, and I will talk to you later. Have a crafty day. Bye.